Hello and welcome to Riley's Review. I am Riley Cook and I am the owner of Toronto Luxury Condos and Homes.com. And Riley's Review is basically me taking you through some of Toronto's most unique, coolest luxury homes and condos that are for sale right now. So today we're actually going to start off with a very special property. It's probably one of the most unique properties that I've ever seen in my 7 years as a real estate agent. And this is 18 Croft Street. This is a 2-bed, 3-bath, Laneway townhome on Croft Street, so just steps to College Street, just east of Bathurst, and it is a super cool conversion. It is an 1860s coach house that they've meticulously, every detail thought of. They have beautifully converted it, keeping the old kind of architecture of the coach house, which is where they used to keep the horses back in the old day when we used to get around on horse and buggy and horse. So they used to keep it in these coach houses, and they've kept the old brick, the exposed brick. They've had exposed steel beams, exposed ceilings, polished concrete floors. So really, really cool place. And this is listed for sale by Alexis from LePage Signature Realty. And it is listed for $2.489 million. So not a small chunk of change, but once you see the finishings on this place, you'll see how they kind of came up with the value. So let's jump into watching the little listing video that they provided, and I'll kind of give you my insights on the area, what I saw in the property that we might not see too much in the video, and so let's jump into it. So as I mentioned, this is located just at College and Bathurst Street. So Croft Street is a super unique street as it's a laneway. So you can see here, if I pause the video, that you can see the properties beside it are actually garages, and the main homes here on Lippin Court, they severed the land sometime in the past. I'm not sure exactly when, but they severed the properties, meaning that the land that used to be the laneway, the backyard, for these homes on Lippin Court was severed off so that they can turn it into a separate property on these laneway homes. And what's very unique about these laneway homes is that they typically provide 100% lot coverage, which is very unique. If you know anything about Toronto regulations, typically you're allowed to build to 30 to 40% of the lot size. So that means if you have 40 by 120 lot, you can only fill up 30 or 40% of that with the structure of your home. And that's to keep it so that we have greenery and that we just don't have massive houses taking up the whole lot and kind of taking away from some of the character that we have in the city. With laneway homes, they actually provide you, for the most part, with 100% lot coverage. So the lot here is 22 by 44, so not that big. It's quite a narrow and small lot, but since you have 100% coverage of it, you get 2625 square feet across the 3 floors. So it's quite a good use of the space. And you can see here that there's actually some other very unique laneway homes along Croft Street. Some of the most uniquely designed laneway homes are for sale there. Some of the just stuff that really is the epitome of what could be done with laneway housing is done on Croft Street. It's a really good example of what the city could turn the rest of kind of Toronto into if we were to change some of the regulations and make it a bit easier for properties like these to be constructed. But jumping outside, you have this very unique black metal front, and it doesn't look like it, but these 2 doors here can actually come apart, and there's a garage door here. So I'll show you when we get inside. So it's currently positioned as a workspace, but they have done a really good job at making sure that if you ever wanted to turn this garage into a usable parking space, you could actually fit a car lift right in here and fit 2 cars. So that's pretty cool, especially being downtown where parking is definitely at a premium. Having 2 parking spaces and then still some extra space for, any bikes or any stuff that you want could all fit down here. So if we jump on inside, we can see instantly the level of finishings and quality that went into this place. It is absolutely spectacular. They have black slate countertops, porcelain countertops, They've done a really, really great job at making sure that the floor plan is very open. So it's 3 levels, as I mentioned before. So the lower level is what's positioned as kind of the garage space, workspace, and then there's the second bedroom down there. Then you come up to the main level, and then that's where the kitchen, living, dining space is located. There's a small office right over on the other side of these stairs as well. So it's a super unique floor plan, but it's very, very functional. And this is one of the few times that I've ever actually seen a black kitchen. I'm not normally a fan of black finished kitchens because they make the space so dark. But because there's so much light coming in from all sides, there's light coming from the east windows here. You can have exposure through to the west side of the property as well, so you're getting western light. But there's also a 20-foot skylight that starts coming down here, which you can start to see with the fir plywood that they've used. So this is a really great way at making the space feel a lot brighter than it normally would be using these color choices. Black usually kind of sucks away light and makes the space feel a bit more cramped and congested. Here, because of the natural light that's allowed for the property, it's spectacular. It truly worked very well, and the stark contrast between the white walls and the black counters and cabinets just makes any accent color really pop off, which, from a design standpoint is fantastic. You can see that here. These greens just pop out beautifully from the flowers. And the level of finishings, like it's a fully a professional kitchen. Like this is exactly what you want. Top level finishings. We'll hop back downstairs now. So what's very cool, as I mentioned, is that right now it's configured as a workspace, but it can be converted into a garage. But this metal staircase is actually retractable. So you can make the space even more usable if you want to have it as a studio space or anything like that. But what I found very cool is this light fixture on the wall was actually commissioned by Michael Bublé. So the seller's company makes art installations like this. So they were commissioned by Warner Brothers and Michael Bublé for the 2019 Toronto Light Festival as a part of the MB Love TO campaign. And I actually got to see this because it was right beside my condo in Distillery District, and it was super cool to see it in the garage space here. And they say that when this is all lit up, it really makes it feel more like a studio space. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with the house, but I thought it was just a cool little tidbit. I'm a bit of a Michael Bublé fan, so I kind of geeked out on that one a little bit. But this lower space here leads into where the second bedroom is located, but there's also a small little kitchenette here and a 2-piece bath. So it can operate semi-independently from the rest of the home. And you can see here that you have super high ceilings and 2 large windows that are west facing. So you get a ton of natural light coming into the property. But because of the ceiling height as well, it never feels that constricted, which is nice because the size of the room isn't all that large. It's definitely workable with a single bed or a double and some space around that. But the ceiling height is really what gives this space a much better feel, I would say. And again, the natural light that comes through here from the big windows is great. And you can actually access a backyard space through this little door here. I'm not sure how you'd get there. You might have to create a little ladder, but just a little tidbit to know about the property as well. So if we cruise on over, we can see the little kitchenette here, and then that's the 2-piece bath. So this is the living dining space. So you can see that these are the west-facing windows. So they bring light all the way from the west side, and then you've got the same style of windows on the east side. And then this is that skylight that I mentioned earlier. So a ton of natural light for the home, which just makes it feel that much bigger and gives this beautiful lighting throughout. That's just, if you're working from home and spending all your time there, this is the kind of place that you want to spend it at. So going upstairs now is the upper mezzanine. And so this for a wall, it's a plywood wall, actually, and it's something that I haven't seen before. I've never seen this done to this extent, where a full wall in a Toronto residential home used plywood. And I was initially skeptical about using such a fairly simple material, But what I found, because it's capturing so much natural light, the kind of golden color of it makes a very warm light when the sun hits it. And this gets kind of cast all the way down through into the lower levels, because it's a 20-foot drop from here down into the main floor. And you're capturing light from these floor-to-ceiling windows on the upper mezzanine where the master bedroom is, that leads to the wraparound deck. But this, paired with the skylight, just offers a really, really cool, unique light that I haven't seen done before. And I gotta say, it's made me think about how could this be implemented in other homes, because obviously you don't want to do everything with it, but if it's done tastefully, I actually think it's a nice finishing. And the cost of plywood relative to other building materials is relatively cheap. So that leads us up to the third floor mezzanine here. And this space is super cool. So it's its own third floor. It has the master bedroom, a wraparound deck, and its own 3-piece ensuite as well. And so you can see here, these cutouts actually lead to that drop in the skylight down to the lower level. So it's capturing all the light from here on the east side in the morning and then bringing it down into the rest of the home. And then this is the really, really beautiful 3-piece bath that they have for the master ensuite. Beautifully finished again. Like, there was no expense spared when they renovated this home. They bought it in 2016, and it took basically 4 years once all the permits and planning and everything went through before it was finished. And you can really see it in the end result. And if we go out to the wraparound deck, you can see a beautiful, beautiful south view of the CN Tower and all of the downtown skyline. And Kensington Market is right here, so super close, super walkable to a lot of really great areas. And this deck does actually wrap around the whole upper level. They haven't finished it along the back here with any higher fencing, but that could be fairly easily done as long as it's not countering any fire code regulations. But then you could kind of use this into a bit more of like a raised garden in the sky. So super cool. And as you can see here, you've got some other very neat laneway homes surrounded around you. So it's a very unique area, but you're situated right in the heart of downtown Toronto. And it's, I gotta say, one of the most unique places that I've ever seen. I was super blown away when I was showing it to my clients, and it's really had a lasting impact because it made me see design features that I've never seen before, but have actually swayed me. If they're done well, especially like the black kitchen and that plywood wall, I was very skeptical about those, but seeing them implemented well shows me that there's some other materials that I might not traditionally choose that, if the scenario allows for it, you can actually have a great, unique feel added to the home. So that's 18 Croft Street. I hope you guys enjoyed that little tour. And if you ever have any questions, leave it down in the comment section below. And I would love to hear what's your favorite part of this home. So yeah, I'll be doing these every week, sharing some unique properties all around Toronto. And I hope you guys join me. So talk to you on the next one. Bye.